Welcome to the Growth Leaders by Shot. Today, we are thrilled to have a powerhouse of leadership and mentorship on the show. With over 15 years in human resources and as a professor at Tec de Monterrey in Mexico, Paula Gomez is here to share her expertise in guiding young professionals through the transition from college to the workforce. Paula is a true advocate for career development and effective leadership, and she's ready to offer us her invaluable insights and stories. So get ready to be inspired and learn from one of the best in the field. Paula, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome.
Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited of having this opportunity today and being sharing this wonderful time together. I already have my cup of coffee with me, so let's start.
That's that's great. So we're gonna jump into because what excited me here early on, what was really your focus on young, not only talent, I mean, young people, getting into the workforce. But before we go into all that, could you share a little bit of your background and what has led you into the human resources?
Sure. So, first of all, I want to share because this is very important, and I have lived in different countries. Originally from Colombia, then I live in Spain. I also live in Sofia, Bulgaria, and now I'm living in Mexico. It's almost 10 years now in Mexico. So I have been living in different countries, continents, having experiences, working with people. My beginning or the beginning of my career was basically as change management consultant in Accenture, like almost 15 years ago. And then I
Then, then,
start
then, then,
transitioning.
then you got to know how to work, working for,
Exactly.
yes,
3 years
absolutely.
was a very, very good school starting from my career. So, yes, I can say
Mm,
I always tell my students if you have the opportunity to work for a consultant company, do it because it's a
mm,
wonderful school. So, after that, I started going to different training management, HR business partner, talent management, internal communications, even roles in my different jobs and companies. And then, more or less in 2017, when I was talent manager at Ferrero, Mexico, I was in charge of the trainees program.
mm,
And I discovered the importance of start bringing together the academy and the corporate world because it's not only about the hard skills we teach at the
mm.
universities, it's also to be aligned with what companies are demanding, what kind of talent, what kind of competencies we require to bring prepare professionals to better navigate the corporate world and to get the different results. So
And
this is more or
I'm gonna,
less why I'm.
yeah, I'm gonna jump into that directly. Do you feel today that start with the large university that they are actually aligned with the need of the companies of today, or where are they in that? Because I mean that's one of your focus areas. Are they
Mhm.
aligned to?
I think that we are going through that path. We are not yet completely, but there are, depending on the universities, they are implementing different programs that are ensuring this. Like, for instance, here at Tec de Monterrey, we have a specific area in charge of building connections, building relationships with companies. The students during their careers, they not only have the subjects, traditional subjects, they have different corporate projects, they have those business partners where they
Mm,
can implement their projects at the second, third year of the career, and they are not waiting until the end. So
mm,
I think that it's a matter of continue looking for those partnerships. Academy and corporate cannot be separate.
mm.
They must be working together.
Yeah, and I think that's right. Is there any key moments when you now look back, even though I know you mostly look forward, but let's do key moments or experiences that has significantly contributed to your growth as a leader? Is there any moment?
Yes, I have a very, no, I don't know if it's funny, but it's a very interesting anecdote and it's part of myself. So when I had the chance to work for a multinational insurance company in Colombia, I was a training manager there in charge of 10 people. We had a huge challenge to open the center, train almost 400 people. So you can imagine that the work was huge. After 1 year and a half of this, my manager in that moment, she said, "Okay, Paula, now that you did a great job in Bogota, in Colombia, I need you to do the same and go to Sofia, Bulgaria." I was like, of course. So I accepted the challenge very optimistic, very with a lot of confidence that it was just only replicating the same style, same activities I did in Colombia. But honestly, when I arrived, it was completely different. The huge challenge here was leading a team of that was completely different from my culture. Like it was like a Colombian, a Latin American person arriving to Sofia, Bulgaria, leading a team of 8 people with different backgrounds, different languages, different interests. And I was trying at the beginning to apply the same tips, the same leadership style that I was
Mm,
applying with my team in Colombia. If I tell my team in Colombia, hey, you have to go to Mexico, to Argentina, and be there at the office, document processes. They were very excited. Yes, Paula, I want to travel. It's very interesting. I was I had to do the same there, but this time was like you have to go to UK, you have to go to Italy, you have to go to France, and they were like, "Uh-oh, I don't want to travel. I'm not interested on travel." So I was like, why they are not interested on traveling? So that was the first time, and it's I'm not saying that it's good or it's wrong. It's different. So I had to adapt myself to really understand what moves these people,
mm,
what were their interests, what motivate them, and then connect with this. Not It's not just
yeah.
only that I'm thinking that this is gonna be awesome, wonderful for them. I had to step back and think, okay, what do they want? What do they
Mm.
motivate? What motivates them? And then start better
And
connecting with them.
that is very similar, and this is really into the cultural aspects of this. So if you come to Finland, then maybe you don't expect too much small talk because they don't have small talk. Why
Okay.
talk about anything which does not matter? They
Mhm.
talk about only things matters. If you take an example, so absolutely, I think it's interesting to those first-hand experiences when you move into new cultures. They are so important and learning lessons for life. Uh, we talk about you have young talent mentor and you're actually
Mhm.
professor in the topic. So what is the key here? How should a young guy or girl, I mean, they are ending college, university, and starting to get out. And we all know, we have the curve there. The brightest one there, those who are mid-bright and, hardworking. So how should they think to get out there? Because it is a competition. It was a competition
Exactly.
in the old days, but it's, I think, even more today.
Exactly. I think that as everyone, we start focusing first on hard skills, technical skills, what I'm going to learn, what I'm going to propose, how I'm going to demonstrate that I can contribute from technical perspective. Something that I strongly recommend to my students is not only to consider technical skills or hard skills, is to understand and work on soft skills. So guys,
Mm,
what are the companies you are looking for? What do they need? what they are looking for after a pandemic, how the companies are working today, what is the new way of working. So competences like problem solving, communications and influence, critical mindset. And once they realize what are their strengths, their preference, they can start build their personal brand. I know this is like a cliche today that
Mm.
everyone must build their personal brand, but it's something that is a reality. For
Mm.
me, LinkedIn is one of the most powerful tools we have today. So I also encourage them this like being aware of soft skills and start building your personal brand using LinkedIn.
And I think it's important. I mean, we're living in a very changing environment, uh, but it was very much about the way of thinking, the way of solving problems, the way
Exactly.
of finding information, the way of connecting to people. That was really important. And of course, if you're into the technical side, you have to go deep in the technical, but it's going to be hard to succeed unless you get the soft side to bloom also. And I think, exactly as you say today, the biggest advantage you have is knowing yourself and being curious, uh, ask questions, uh, be loyal, try out, dare to make something wrong, and actually learn from that and do it right next time. I know you have some amendments also. If I have looked in, I don't know if that's from LinkedIn or where it is, where you have 10 steps on how you bring people forward. Is
Mhm.
that, do you, do you know what I mean?
The
I think
10 steps were. Mhm.
yeah, and I think, when you look how to bring these guys and girls forward, you have a number of steps which you work from, what they are to focus on in order to present themselves.
Yes, I think that the first step is to have self-awareness of where we are, who we are, what kind of value I can contribute. So I think this is the first step. Second, you have to know how you are going to transmit, to communicate the value you have. Like, and this was one of my key challenges at the beginning of my career. So based on my experience and other people's experience, it's critical to prepare ourselves to communicate who we are and what we can contribute. And then trying to look for the different tools we can use to communicate. We have the basic one when you are looking for a job is the resume, but you also have the chance to prepare your LinkedIn profile. You can also participate in conferences, doing some networking, going to networking events, posting things in LinkedIn to start building to start being a reference in your
Mhm.
matter. So the opportunities we have today, and I'm trying to do a comparison when I was starting my career and doing the comparison to now. We have thousands of resources today, and but you
Mm.
cannot be
It,
lucky if you are not prepared.
no, it is as you say in sports. The more you train, the more lucky you are.
Mhm.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Mhm.
so it comes by default being there.
Mhm.
So we can talk a little bit about the multi-generational leadership because it
Mhm.
comes a little bit into this. I mean, it's youngster, but multi-generational sounds also we are in the mid and we are a little bit older and so on. What is your thinking here? Because when we spoke last time, you said you're, starting studying more and more around this. What are your initial thoughts so far on this?
Mhm. So I think I'm going to talk multicultural and multi-generational. So in
Mm,
terms of multicultural, uh, today we have, and this is something that I'm going to start researching about cultural intelligence, is the ability that an individual has to partner, to work, to understand other people from other cultures and being successful and thrive on these kind of teams. So again, we are in a global world, in a global corporate world, that today it's very easy to start working with people from Asia, from Europe, from Latin America, from US, and having this capacity to adapt yourself and contribute to an international team is critical. So I think this is something that not only young people, also all professionals should cultivate, should understand, should learn how to better connect with international teams. On
Mm.
the other side, today companies, depending on the company, but some of the companies have working four generations at the same time. We have from baby boomer, Gen X, millennials, and now centennials are becoming to the workforce. So I think it's very interesting to analyze the different perspectives we have. I'm a late millennial, so it was great to like from a simple question like, hey guys, what do you prefer at the moment of communicating with others? Are you okay if I call you by phone? Are you okay if I send a long email? And they were asking to me the same. So it was wonderful to explore the multiple differences we have in the way of how we communicate, in the way how we solve conflicts, in the way how we navigate different scenarios of the corporate world. I think this is something that companies should consider to encourage people
Yeah,
to better understand each other.
I see. It's rather well built out in the, I would say, the very largest, the larger corporations who actually work all over the world, and they have the cross teams going there, which is really a must to get it to run. If we look now into South America, now you're in northern part there. How well do you see this multi-generational leadership? How well is this built out, and how mature are the leaders for actually making sure you have diversity, you have women, you have men, you have different ages, etc., to get the strongest possible leadership team? And that could be a departmental leadership team, or it could be an executive leadership team. What is your perception on this?
Mhm. Yes, I think that in the world, we need to handle the stereotypes that sometimes arise because it's very easy to say, hey, young people or centennials, they don't want to work or they don't want to commit to a company, or baby boomers
Hmm.
are close of mine, they don't want to learn new things. I think these are general perceptions and stereotypes that first we need to start taking off and being open to better understand more than the generation. So I think this is one of the most challenging things we have here. In terms of encouraging female talent, I think we are doing great steps here in Latin America, but we are still in in this path. Like there are some numbers that more or less 45% of the entry level workforce it's female. But then if you look higher in the high level executive roles, the presence of female talent is between 20 and 25%. So what
Yeah.
happens there is really something that the companies are not willing to give opportunities, or what is going on. Maybe women are not interested, or they are interested but
Mm.
they need some flexibility to better balance uh, personal life and professional life. So I think that companies are doing great efforts, but we are not still mature as we would want.
I think you're actually spot on in that analysis, realizing that there are different needs, for example, for a woman raising kids, but today it's not only the woman, it's as much the man. And actually realizing that it's a bigger puzzle, and that has just to be on the table for the HR side. Now, Paula, I'm going to put you on some rapid fire questions here. Let's see if you're ready.
Okay.
What's your favorite book on leadership?
Wow. The one for me is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It was amazing. I read this like almost 10 years ago and it blew my mind.
Yeah, just that must be written quite a long time ago, hasn't it?
Yes, yes. It's not new, but it's powerful.
Because when I started, and that was actually in time management, was also Dale Carnegie at that time, and there are pieces I still carry with me. So absolutely great one. So let's see. So what's one leadership skill you wish you had learned earlier in your career?
Mhm. I would love, okay. Earlier in my career, would be to have more self-confidence to communicate my ideas, my knowledge, to better impact at the moment that I was presenting. As everyone, I guess that everyone should have this imposter syndrome. So at the beginning, I was like, "Who I am to present my these ideas? People are not going to listen to me." So I would say self-confidence to better communicate and influence people.
That's a very good comment. And your ideal work day, how would you describe that in a few
Mhm.
words?
Okay. Balanced. Don't be rushing for things like having like, okay, I'm gonna be doing this. Positive, because I truly believe on the positive energy. If you are in a good mood, you can flow and accomplish great things, and impactful. I'm always
Mm,
asking myself, why I'm here? Why, what I'm going to accomplish of being talking with this person or being in this meeting or going to this place? What is the impact I'm gonna be doing? So I would say balance, positive, and impactful.
and that's great. And when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do?
Checking my cell phone. I know that is not healthy, but going
Okay,
to my
that's good.
LinkedIn app. I would
Yeah,
love to say meditating or doing a mantra or
yeah.
whatever, but honestly, I'm a very normal person and
You're
checking
a real
myself up.
person. And if you could gain a new skill like that, what would that be?
Talking or speaking multiple languages. I right
Yeah.
now I speak just only Spanish and English, but I'm really passionate of connecting with people. And I know that English is like a global language, but I would love to speak different multiple languages to better connect with different cultures and to better understand them. So that
Mm,
would be my number one.
I love that answer. I have exactly the same wish as you.
Good.
So, Paula, it's great having you on the Growth Leaders podcast show, and I would like to thank you so much for your insights today. Thank you so
Oh,
much,
thank
Paula.
you. Thank you, Peter. I'm glad that you consider me. Um, and I would really like to continue being connected with you and all your audience. If you want to know more about my work, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I post daily different tips and different experiences I have with my students, with my HR work. So I'm welcome to connect and thank you. Thank you very much for considering me today.
Great. We will get you published. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank